Welcome to another edition of the Go Noles Podcast. I'm your host, Gregory McCoy. This podcast is by a fan for fans. I am not a journalist. I am not a reporter. I am not an insider. I do not work for a website. The majority of my content comes from me, in my opinion. Other information comes from the internet. This is the 500 episode. I'm not going to make it any bigger than what it is. Special thanks to everyone that has listened to this podcast and supports it every week. I really do appreciate it. Like I've said many times, I've never sought out to be any kind of podcast sensation or YouTube sensation. It's more or less just a hobby. Florida State football has always been a passion for me. Going back to Deion Sanders' freshman year, that's really when I got hooked on Florida State. And, just watching Deion play was the driving force for me becoming a Florida State fan. So, again, thank you for listening. I know my voice is monotone. I'm not really exciting to listen to, but I would like to think that I bring some kind of insight to Florida State football, just being a fan. I'm not an analyst. I know limited stuff, just from watching as a fan. So again, I appreciate the support. And let's review this Virginia Tech game. The more and more I watch Florida State this season, they're just a team that has to get let's start with the positives. Let's not be negative. They started out fast. They lost focus, and Virginia Tech made this a game. I know the final score is not going to indicate that, but Virginia Tech is not a great team, and they were able to come out and make this game. This game should have been over in the first quarter. We should have put at least 35 on these guys in the first quarter and been playing our backups late in this game. But, we just lost focus. And that's coaching. Keeping your players focused is coaching. And, it may not affect you in these next couple games, but, if Miami continues what they're doing, that's a big game coming up. Duke is not going to be a pushover. They're a hard-nosed football team. And I'm not trying to make them sound like they're overachievers or anything like that. They can beat you. Duke can beat you. Okay? Because they play great football. So, by no stretch of the imagination is, the rest of the schedule a walkthrough for Florida State. So I would really love for Mike Norvell and staff to do whatever they have to do to keep this team locked in for 4 quarters. Because it's just like, okay, we get up 22, 7-3 or whatever it was, and everybody just relaxes. And, I just felt like, I told a guy on social media, he was saying 45-10. I said, the final score was pretty close to that. But I said, I think it's going to be a game. I think it's going to be kind of closer than that. And I would like to think I was right. The running game got back on track. The passing game got back on track. Jordan Travis didn't really do anything too crazy in this game. He stayed within himself, within the offense. We knew Drones was going to make plays. He's a dynamic dual threat quarterback, which gives us trouble. So, we played it better than we usually do, but we did give up some big runs to that guy. The running back, I want to say number 33, he ran the kickoff back. Very poor special teams. We got to improve in that area. I mean, it's the little things that's going to get you beat. when the big games come, the ACC championship, if we're fortunate enough to make it, the playoff, if we're fortunate enough to make it, and the national championship, if we're fortunate enough to make it, and just the rest of the schedule. It's the details from what I've seen. It's the small things that's going to get Florida State beat. So we have to fix those little things in order to get to a place where we can dominate, not just beat, but dominate the upper echelon teams in this country. Jordan Travis had a good game, efficient game, not big time yardage. But, I don't care about that stuff. Just don't get us beat. Being a game manager, to me, is not a bad thing. Turning the football over is very bad. And he didn't do that today. When he's running, scrambling, he's, sliding, which is a good thing. He did take a targeting, but that wasn't because of something that he did wrong. That was just more or less the Virginia Tech player, number 26. So, I think this is one of the better games that he's had this season in terms of not doing things that will get us beat. But there's still a lot of room for improvement. Mainly, as I've been saying this whole season, lack of focus throughout the game. And I'm not saying that it's possible to be 100% focused for every second, but you gotta get as close to it as you possibly can. Because one lapse in judgment can get you beat against the great teams. It only takes 1 point to win. And, if I'm a player on that team, I don't want to be the player that gives up that point. So I just think focus is coaching. And, I'm not calling Mike Norvell out or anything like that. I think he's done a tremendous job rebuilding this program. And like I said many times before, I was one of the naysayers when he got hired. And, hey, it's been a great pleasure to, be wrong. Because at the end of the day, I want to see this team win. I want us to get back into the championship conversation, ACC and national championship. So it's been a great pleasure to be wrong. We're not there yet. We got a long way to go. I hope that we can get our issues fixed and, continue this upward trend that we've been on the last 2 seasons. I think we can do it. But you're going to get every team's best shot from here on out. I don't think you're going to go into a game and teams are just going to say, okay, we're going to lay down. No, you're going to get every team's best shot. Because Florida State, for what it's worth, still has a lot of name recognition within college football. Still one of the most recognizable brands in college football. So whoever you play, you're going to get their best shot. So that concludes this instant reaction. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, 500 episode. Thank you for all your support. The podcast is available on YouTube and all podcast platforms. As always, go Noles.